Alright, what is up guys? Loser Maniac here, and welcome to Bloons Tower Defense 6. I know, it's completely out of nowhere. But, the reason why I'm making this video is because I really like this game. In fact, I play this game a hell of a lot. In fact, I have all the heroes with the exception of Corvus, and I have a bunch of black borders. Not all of them, so I know I'm not a professional. In fact, I have like a level 187 character. In fact, I think I've only black bordered like one intermediate map, so I'm working on it. I'm working on it right now. But today, the reason why I'm making this video is because with CHIMPS mode, I'm gonna go over some of my favorite cleanup crews or my favorite cleanup towers within Bloons Tower Defense or BTD6. Now, this is for some of you guys that don't know, a cleanup crew is generally ones where like it kind of prevents leakage. So you may have like your main defenses along this area, but then you need some extra people along this area to help clean up. Now, for this purpose, the only thing I'll be using as my main sort of attack is a 602 tack shooter, and I will be testing them on ceramics. I'll use 999 of them, even though generally, the reason why I'll be using ceramics is because ceramics are the most tricky, but also with as you can see, this kind of shows you what I mean by leakage. So, this is this is generally what the cleanup crew does, is see all these yellow balloons, we gotta make sure that they do not leak through. So today, I'm gonna go over some of my personal ones, in no particular order. But these are generally ones that I would use as a cleanup crew, where I kind of put them all together. Now, for this purpose, I will be stating that these are going to be 5xx whatever, even though generally they are efficient. They are also efficient as 4x's and whatnot, but generally, if paired with support towers like Monkey Village or the Alchemist or whatever, generally these will be a lot better. So, coming in at number 5 is the Wizard Monkey. Now, for this purpose, generally with and this is going to be a 0 to. I'll show the 0 to 4 first, and then I'll get into the 0 to 5. Oh wait, hold on. Oops. I did it. That's a 0 to 3. Now, generally, the reason why I prefer a 0-2 is because the fact. Hold on. Let me move. Come on. Let me move it to the back there. Hold on. What if I build up the. Can I build up the graveyard first? There. I guess generally speaking, you are going to want the graveyard built up first, but as you can see, none of them are leaking through at all. Well, this is what is generally going to be used to do the cleanup. Now, depending as to how you have this, having the back defense, this can work very well on zone, especially if you have the 5, the 0 to 5 Wizard Monkey. Now what I like about this one is that this pairs really well if you use Ezili, because Ezili increases the pierce of undead balloons. So having something like this is very useful. Now, the only thing that is difficult with this one is purple balloons, as you will see soon enough. As you can faintly hear it. The only weakness of this tower is the purple balloons, but as you can clearly see, the undead balloons are taking care of that very nicely. And what makes it better is these undead balloons that pop the regular balloons add onto the graveyard, so it's very nice to have. It's definitely one that I would recommend having. But that's just number 4. Alright. So coming in at number 3, or I guess yeah, number 4 is the Ninja Monkey. Now here's the thing, I tried doing this with Bloon Jitsu, but it is not that effective. And generally, you're gonna. So my advice is definitely have a 5-0, because as you can see here, it is working very nicely. None of the balloons are getting past the Ninja Monkey. And this one also pairs really nicely with the Alchemist, but I'm not going to show the the ones that boost the towers more. I'm just going to focus mostly on the towers to show how very good that these are. And as you can see, like, none of them are getting through. And this is just a 5-0-1. Now, I did try a 4-0-1, but I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to see it is not that effective. Unless I could be wrong in that statement, but more likely, yeah, see, they're getting through. Yeah, but like I said, it pairs nicely with the Alchemist also for that extra pierce and attack damage, so maybe it's good. But for this purpose, I'm just going over what I consider more cleanup crews. Now what makes the Ninja Monkey good is that there is a tower on here that I have at number 1 that works surprisingly well with the Ninja Monkey, but I'll get into that in a bit. Next, I have the 5-2-0 Engineer Monkey. Now what makes this good is that it works as both cleanup crew and a defense, as you can see, or as the main defense, as you can tell. I mean, look at this thing. Like, these towers, like, these balloons are not getting through at all. Now, this is really good for, like, basically, like, big, I don't want to say big maps, but, like, maps with, like, a lot of lanes, similar to, like, middle of the road, where you kind of want to put the Engineer Monkey, like, all the way in the back, on the back side with the curve right near the water areas. Something like that would be very nice to put this thing. But yeah, and again, similar to the Wizard Monkey, it is very weak. It is very weak against purple balloons. But otherwise, it's very nice to have. So one I would definitely recommend you guys use in a CHIMPS playthrough. Now coming in at number 2, these two can, my number 2 and number 1 could easily be interchangeable, and you can have these however you want and it will still be right. Next is the Boomerang Monkey. Now these ones work really well either way, but I'm talking about the, let's see if the 4 works out well, but more likely it is definitely gonna, generally it is gonna be the, yeah. So as you can see, this is a very nice cleanup crew, but the 5-0 is where it gets fun. It is very effective as a cleanup crew, just that way you want to prevent, just that way you have an easy time preventing the monkeys from getting through. So yeah, that's pretty much it there. Not really much to discuss there. And number 1 is a very, either not so surprising one or surprising one, but to show how cocky I am, I'm going to in fact remove the Ring of Fire, and I'm going to, oh shit, I'm going to add a 5-0-2. I'm going to use ceramics. Now, what makes this one interesting is that this is the most, I don't want to say, this is probably one of the more flexible ones. And as you can see in a moment, it is quite effective. But let's say you don't want a 5-0-2. You know what? That's fine. You know why? Because you can also do a 5-2-0, and it is just as effective. Now, this one is more like if you want to play it safe. Because as you can see, because they were closer to like the edge of the, or the end of the lane, but with this one, it kind of keeps them back a bit, kind of stalls stalls it a bit. So you do have options. Either way, I think this one and the Boomerang Monkey were the two that I used to get the black border on the cabin, because I really, really hate that map. It is definitely a difficult one. Now, obviously, we do have an honorable mention, and that is obviously gonna be Sada. Wow. Huh. What if I just, yeah, let me just rush her a bit. Yeah. Because obviously, as you can see, very effective as a cleanup, but it's definitely not like, it definitely shouldn't be like a main tower, because eventually after a while, even though you're not going to have like obsessive amounts of ceramics like this, it is definitely one that is, let's just say, going to be very lackluster. But if you do need like a last, you definitely want to use Sada as a last resort. So yeah, so those are my top 5 favorite cleanup towers in Blues Tower Defense 6. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. There was one more that I decided on, and that was the Transforming Tonic. However, the issue is that this is purely based off of, like, look, it's good sorta at stalling, but like even after a while, like, that's it. Not really that effective. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Those are my top 5 favorite towers. So definitely use these if you are struggling with chimps mode. If Now, some of these are dependent as to what you struggle with the most. If you struggle with ceramics, then definitely I would suggest, like, these are the ones I would definitely suggest the most. But you do you. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment down below of any other towers you think are really good with cleanup and all that stuff. And if you are new to the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. If you do subscribe, hit that bell notification to be notified when I upload, because I don't really have a schedule. And don't get used to Bloons Tower Defense 6 videos. I just figured I'd do this one because I really wanted to talk about this. And yeah, Lose the Manic out.